So as you can see, it has started raining here, and one of the cool things is this figurine or this statue over here has is pouring water out of the hole. It looks amazing, to be honest. It's really really cool. But people are scrambling to get to some shading area. Some people brought umbrellas, so that's kind of cool. But yeah, just be aware that it can rain, and you may want to bring a hoodie or an umbrella or something of that nature. You can see how beautiful this temple is. It's so amazing. So cool. So we're just waiting for the rain to clear up. It looks like it's clearing up just a little bit, but not as much. But darn, I was really enjoying the visit here, but the rain seems like it's gonna hinder some folks. It's gonna hinder us from going around the temple. But this is part of traveling, right? You never know what's gonna happen. But I'm really fascinated by that faucet, the way it's spilling the water. So I'm inside the chamber, and it's very dark, very dark in here. But you can see that there are symbols all over the place. I'm not sure what these symbols mean, and there's an eerie echo all around here. It's very eerie. I have my phone flashlight. I have my phone flashlight on just to be able to see some of these symbols. But I know that there's some symbols on here that may have a strange origin, but I'm not seeing many of them. Just seems like ragged lines all over the place. It's like this kind of reminds me of the Mayan calendar. You can see that the circle is here, kind of like and then there's a center right here. I'm not sure what that's about. Huh. Very interesting. Just circles all over the place. Circles, circles, circles. Some kind of map, maybe? Or maybe it's a representation of the sun. That's pretty interesting. It just seems like this whole panel is filled with circles. I'm not sure what it indicates. Just more circles and more circles. Very interesting. Wow, what's this? I think this may be the same symbol that was out there with the birds, but the middle one, the human bird statue, I want to call it. It's just like ragged lines all over the place. I'm not sure what these are. I'm not seeing anything that's out of the ordinary in terms of symbols or anything of that nature. It's just circles and circles and circles. Nothing shrieks out at me. Yeah, it's just pure circles everywhere. These symbols right here, they almost appear Aztec to some degree. But you can see here's a circle right here, and then there's a center. Almost as if it's a little reminiscent of the world or of the universe. Maybe this is like the sun or something, I don't know. But it's just they're everywhere. Everywhere. There's a lot of people here. They're trying to get away from the rain too. But you can see there's a statue, or that princess that I told you about. Pretty tall, and this building is just so dark. You can't make out anything. Wow. Yeah, more circles. This one's different. These are different circles with different designs and different patterns. Huh. Looks like over here it changes a little bit. But yeah, very interesting. Unfortunately, the rain has caught up to us and it is just so difficult to navigate the temple now. So these are the circles that I was talking about. You can see that there is some kind of circle here with some kind of figurines kind of sticking out inwardly, I guess, or spirally. Those are kind of the same circles that you see inside there. So it's pretty interesting, to be honest. It's just like a mural full of patterns everywhere. You can see this part right here. Looks like it's part of the parts that has been damaged. But just patterns everywhere. And it's the same pattern all over the place. Just pattern after pattern after pattern. And over here on this side you can see somewhat of a similar pattern, but not so much. It's just that same circle with some kind of lines going all over the place. Not really sure. And then this over here is like a square. Maybe this is representative of the location here because you have like different patterns right here, and then you have a square right here. Very geometric. I know the Hindus were very adamant. I know the Hindu religion has very specific geometric art, so I'm not surprised to see this here. But very cool. You can see it is jam-packed in here. People are trying to get away from the rain. People are trying to get away from the rain, and it's wet outside. So yeah, it's very interesting. You can see the top here. Wow. Very powerful. So the rain has hindered the visit. It's just raining a little bit, so you gotta be careful with the steps just because it can be slippery. It's still raining, but yeah. I guess now I'll just focus on the interiors of the temple. But just look at this temple, it's so amazing, so beautiful. Has the different steps. I really like that. Wow. So it's still raining a little bit, but trying to capture as much as possible here. You can see the monkeys with the humans. Looks like they're partnering up. I'm not sure what they're doing or what they're saying, what that represents, but it's kind of a fascinating image right there. And then over here you have the tree, and two more humans, and then I'm guessing Shiva, the main figure here. But that is powerful. I'm very surprised to see the monkey there. It's like monkeys and humans, or maybe higher figures, interacting together. Not sure what that represents. Wow, look at this. Wow. And the symbology here, this tree is everywhere. Keep seeing it. And then the monkey. Look at all these shapes. Looks like some kind of war or some kind of dance, ritual, something of that nature. Wow, and see, here's that tree again. Not sure what that fruit is, but some kind of fruit. Wow. Looks like they're talking with each other. Wow. It was very cool. And you can see one of the faces up there. That's a cool face. That's awesome. I've seen it a few times, usually around the barriers up there. See, there it is again. And it's probably over here too. Yep, it's right there. That's so cool. I wonder what this means. It's probably one of the figures of Hindus. Wow. And what's interesting is that you can see it up there too. It's like a giant version of it. So you have like a mini version here, and then a mini version here, and then a giant version right up there. Wow. That's so cool. I wonder what Hindu figure that is. So yeah, you want to be very careful not to slip here. These are very hard floors, hard rock. But again, you can see some kind of dance. I think this is some kind of dance here. Some Hindu dance. And you can see the bells here. Wow. There's bells everywhere. I'm not sure what they represent, but they look like bells. I'm not sure if they are bells, but very incredible. Just the design, the architecture. Not sure how long it took either. I try to figure that out, but may have taken longer to build than what they may say. The patterns, very beautiful. Very beautiful patterns. I really like this. Very cool. You can see how big it is. Wow. You can see that figurine right up there. Again, that kind of reminds me of how Teotihuacan is built in Mexico. It's just so similar in how that shape is built. Be careful, because I just hit myself. I'm not that tall, but I still hit myself. I still managed to hit myself. So as you're walking, just be aware that some areas are kind of short. Wow. Looks like the rain has stopped. So that's kind of good, but it's still pretty wet, so just have to exercise some caution. And oh, look at this. The monkeys again here. It looks like in this scenario, there's 3 monkeys. There's some kind of fruit or some kind of food here, maybe some kind of offering. And then there's this man with some kind of title, maybe. I think he looks like he's in control. And then there's this lady over here, and looks like they're communicating. It looks like there's some kind of exchange between this group and then this group. And what's even more interesting is how the monkeys have congregated over here, almost as if they're speaking or communicating with each other. I don't know what he's holding here. The monkey seems to be holding something. I'm not sure what that is, like maybe some kind of instrument or some type of like clothing. I want to say clothing. Looks like the monkey's holding some type of clothing, but you see there's interaction between them. You can see that this monkey is advising this monkey, and then maybe the monkeys went here and then they communicated over here. But then over here, this monkey over here is carrying something, some kind of gift maybe, like a basket. Wow. Yeah, see, there's the monkey's carrying a basket. Maybe like they're making an offering to the king or to the man. And then the birds here. Looks like the birds play like a very powerful role. Looks like the birds play a very powerful role. There's an animal here. I'm not sure what that is. You can see it almost like sticking out. Looks like hands maybe. Wow. But yeah, I'm very intrigued by this interaction between what seems to be monkeys and then these figures over here. And then again, you see the bird right here. Wow. And then the tree, of course. So yeah, in this panel right here, you can see that there's some kind of conflict between these two human-like figures, and then there's an octopus coming here out of the water. Maybe like a kraken or an octopus, a giant octopus. And then over here, there's another battle between another human-like figure and two cows or ox. Looks like this person is being taken. Whoa, what is that? Interesting. This human figure is being taken by the foot. Huh. I'm not sure if this is a woman and a man, but they're taking him upwardly, like this way. Very interesting. Yeah, it seems like this area has more panels related to battles or conflict. Yeah, you can see some of these panels are more related to conflict. You can see this man here is on top of a chariot riding a horse or a few horses. Yeah, wow. This is amazing. Yeah. And one of the things here, oh my goodness, look at this panel. It looks like this man is about to slaughter this person with a knife. Looks like he has a bow and arrow on top. I'm not sure what that is, or some kind of instrument. And then this person is knelt up on some kind of table, and they're gonna puncture their body. Wow, a lot of conflict in this area. Wow, these panels are a little striking. And there's a cow here in this part of the temple. Looks like this one is called Nandi. But yeah, cows, very big part of a lot of religions, even in Christianity. Reminds me of the golden calf a little bit. But yeah, very incredible. Just the architecture of this building. Very fascinating. And one thing I do notice is that I'm glad I'm wearing some New Balances, just because it is very steep and a lot of steps. So do make sure to wear some comfortable shoes. But the pictures and the views and everything here is spectacular. It just looks like really artsy in terms of a ancient ruin perspective. You can see what it looks like just to go down in one of these. Extremely beautiful there. It's so nice. Very fascinating. But just walking around one of these, wow. Isn't that amazing? Ooh, the architecture. Wow. Some of the murals or carvings up there. I'm not sure what the story is telling, but I heard another story on my way up here that if you come as a couple, it is said, if you come as a couple, it is said that it may lead to a breakup. So, not sure how much that story is true, but you can see this is the entrance here. So, it will very likely come from that side and then make your way towards this way. But this is incredible. The ruins, the monuments, the statues, everything is just so beautiful. Wow. And the symbols too, the stories. I wish I could just spend a few days here and just examine and research some of the arts and be able to kind of decipher some of these stories, I guess you could say. And then another thing that I read online was that there are scripts embedded into some of these stones. I haven't seen them yet, but it said something about do not disturb the gods or do not bother the gods, something of that nature. But that is so cool. Very amazing. The rain has taken over some of the areas here, so again, exercising some caution when walking around here. Another thing I read about the Prambanan temple is one is supposed to feel some type of energy or that there are energies around certain areas, but honestly, I have not felt any energy. And I'm kind of just walking around to see if I can feel any energy, but honestly, I don't feel any energy. I've gone inside the temples. I've gone inside the temples and no energy. But maybe it's because it rained, or maybe it's just the day today. Today's Saturday, so yeah. So they say that there's energy just because of the echo or the chanting that was here done many years ago. But you could see again, this is a common theme all around here. The birds and the tree, birds and trees, or at least what looks like a tree. I see it just everywhere. Birds and trees. And this is very reminiscent of some other places I've been. A lot of people come here to take pictures, admire the beautiful artwork performed by, and admire the beautiful artwork of the Hindu religion. But look at this animal. What is that animal? Some kind of bear or dog? Not sure. Yeah, it looks like this is like a bear dog. Looks like a bear dog. To me, at least. Wow, that's a beautiful picture right there. Oh, you can see that face up there. It's everywhere, all over the place. Overall, I think this is an extremely beautiful site. I'm just very enthralled by it. You can see, I think the restoration here may. Oh, okay. Oh, wow! Look at this. I hadn't really taken notice of this, but you can see that this part is like a lion or like a cat or a dog. Not sure. Has some paws here, and then like a different version of a human head with their tongue sticking out. Wow. Looks like they didn't really quite, the restoration here didn't quite go so well. Looks like this block is missing. But again, it's that circle geometric pattern that's found everywhere. Again, look at this animal right here. Not sure what kind of animal that is. Some more of those guarding dogs, bears, lions. I don't know what you would call them, but there's that face again. It almost reminds me of that face of the cat, the Cheshire cat from Alice in Wonderland. Almost kind of gives me that vibe, you could say. But wow, yeah, this is incredible right here. Very awesome. And so on this part, you can see there are cats under the tree and the birds on top. Here it looks like there's some rabbits, I want to say. They look like rabbits or hares. Not really sure. And then they're under the tree with the birds on top. And then the monkeys under the tree, or whatever this is. I'm not sure what this is, but to me it just kind of looks like a tree, or like a formal version of a tree. The birds are on top. And here it looks like the monkeys are scared. Like here they've kind of seem accepting, and then over here it's like, oh shoot, what's happening? The monkeys are showing some kind of expression, like in awe of whatever is happening there. And over here it looks like reindeers or goats under the tree. More goats under the tree. The rabbits again under the tree. And some kind of, I don't know, some kind of dog, bear, lion under the tree. Or whatever that is, I'm not sure. Maybe it's like a symbol of something. But very cool, very interesting designs all over the place. But you can see the panorama here. It's just amazing. Wow. It's so beautiful. Looks like they're spouts for the water. Very reminiscent, again, of Teotihuacan. And again, that figurine of different animals standing under the tree. Kind of reminds me of this tree right here and this tree right here. And there are more blocks over here. Probably going to be restored at some point. But just an incredible, incredible sight. Wow, just take a look at that. So beautiful.